All right, family. Black Power, Black Power. You are now rocking with the General. We live. You already know what time it is. We got some five commentary on some very important subjects you may not know about, but you're gonna know today. Believe it, family. We're gonna be talking about migrant Black African children targeted in South Africa. They say they want them up out of there. They're going to the schools. They say they want them up out of there. So they now even targeting uh migrant. I'm trying to figure out if it's illegal migrants or just migrant in general. I'm trying to figure that one out. Is it illegal? Is it migrant? How do you know the difference if you ain't if you I mean, is they checking passports? How they know? I want to know because they've been jumping on some people that actually were South African. So I want to, come to understand how they do that there. But anyway, before we get started, family, I want you to get over there to Patreon, click the link right there in the top of the chat. We highlighting today's secret genetic experiments, human hybrid, animal hybrids, and you wondering why a lot of these Negroes is crazy. Some of these Neanderthals act like they just walk straight out the cave. You want to know why? Because they ain't all the way right. You understand what I'm saying? Well, you already know that anyway with the Neanderthal. With some of these Negroes, you had to break them down, and you're gonna find that they ain't all the way right. They are hybrid. I want y'all to get over there, click that link, and get in the house, family. Let's get back to what's going on in South Africa. Yeah, and like I'm trying to look at it from both sides. I'm trying to look at it from both sides. I know our people been going through a lot. You see, I know our people been going through a lot everywhere we at. It ain't a damn place on the planet where our people ain't going through some shit. You see, but what we doing is we not getting down to the root of the cause. We're not getting down to the root of the cause, and we're not preparing ourselves to embetter ourselves by practicing Black nationalism, Black power, Black power. You see, Black nationalism. You see, first and foremost, we should, in United States and America, both of them a mirror image of each other in a lot of respects. Of the neglect of taking care of business. You know what I'm saying? Been far too long. Both of them should have been further than what they are today, and it's a lack because you want to integrate. You want to give a Neanderthal extra time, and to get his shit. He already in default. He's already in default, and you give him extra time, and to get it. Once Mandela became president, the transfer of land ownership from the board, the Africana should have happened long time ago. You see, Mandela was twiddling his thumbs. You see, twiddling his thumbs. You see, he was doing it. So a lot of the transfer, but people say, oh, it's slow. They didn't take it slow. Shit, they took it and then came in and shot and killed and maimed, and so they didn't take it slow. Shit, so why you gonna give it back slow? And that don't make no damn sense. See, you want to make them comfortable for a crime, against African people of genocide. A crime of genocide has happened, and they have taken the indigenous people's land, and so you don't move slow when you acknowledge that a crime like that has been committed. You make the transfer, and so it's been too long, and so I understand the people's is a lot of them is in misery, mental misery. Over here too, it's not a disrespect. How can you live without land and resources in control? Not nobody, you got all our people down there without no control. Over here, nigga got money, but they ain't got no control. They still, with all the money they got, $1 trillion of money floating around Black America, and yet and still they don't own but about a million acres. If they own that, Black power to all my family out there. If they own that, You see, if they own that. And so it's a mirror image. And so what people want to do instead of practicing black power, they want to lash out, because it's that's on us to practice black power. That's on us. You see, if you wasn't giving them $1 in the first place, they wouldn't even set up. I mean, you can't make no money over there. They don't patronize nobody but they own. If people would get the word, they say, man, you can't go over there, man. They don't patronize nobody but they own. They wouldn't even come. They wouldn't even come. A lot of them is in there, and I'm not saying, because a lot of times you niggas want to start with the black people. That's what they've been getting fucked over forever by the European, by the Asian, by the Arab. You understand what I'm saying? All day, every day, they have been over here decades among decades. European been over day one, been an economic pillager of the black community. Then here come the Arab, here come the Asian, and then you got Europeans of all. You got the American European. Then here come the Irish. Here come the French. Here come all these other ones that's still here today that they offer immigration to. Now they over here plundering, getting more in the regards of business and power and things of that nature. So the first thing a person is to do is to circle the wagons around their community and say, you know what, we're not patronizing nobody but our own, period. You understand? If you really about that life, it's time to fast. It's time to detox off of all the poison that's been, killing us, centuries and decades. You got to fast. You got to detox off of any of that. And first thing you do is giving your money over to somebody that look other than you. And the money going somewhere else to enrich and build up and embellish and everything about their culture, and do nothing for your culture, do nothing for your community. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? And if they knew you had that type of mentality and ideology, they wouldn't even come nowhere near you and your community. So the fact that you got, the Arab, he owned in Detroit, I know other places, people, it's the Oriental, it's the Korean, it's this, that, and the third. That order, that you own your hair shit. They sell you everything about your beauty and everything, and here you is invented, beauty. You invented the fashion. You invented all. You are the high standard of all of that. Yet and still, here it is. They can come over here. Where did they even get the idea to do that? You know what I'm saying? Where did they get the idea to just take, to come over and start to sell you beauty products, take over? But they did. They knew something. They did some research. They saying, oh, these niggas giving all their money to them, man. Shit, let me get some of it. Well, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and get some hair product and took it over. Now they making billions of dollars because we gonna spend we gonna spend $1 billion on beauty stuff every year as a people. Man, please, more than $1 billion. We're gonna spend some billions on some beauty. So right there, and that's why I say, oh, what is really happening here? And yes, and so we shrink, our vision to act like we don't see this over here, which is greater by far economically, culturally. You see, they pillage it, and we'll turn around and look at people that really ain't got that much authority in our community like that. You see, when we talk about Black Americans, yes, I understand that, some of our indigenous, our continental brothers and sisters come here. They might open up some restaurants and things of that nature. But damn, they selling African. They bringing some cultural from Africa. You see what I'm saying? They're, when I go in the African shop, they be having African clothes. They be bringing some of the African food over and things of that nature. They braid hair. They do that. They've been braiding hair since the beginning of time. So they got skills in that, and so on. So that's what they bring. But you talking about hell, they've been, how long has that been? How long has that been? And how long has that been? And I don't see nothing wrong. If the sisters don't want to go there, they don't have to. You braid some damn hair, which I'm quite sure is a lot of uh 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 what they call Black American sisters that already do hair. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see it as no major threat. If you want to go over there, get a certain type of style, a different type of, it's okay. But why would we go in on African people about the small little businesses that they may own? And here it is, the European who done been raping you from day one, stole goddamn 19 million acres of land from us. You see, and then ran us out of all type of prosperous cities and things of that nature. Been over here whooping you, beating you, burning you, mutilating you all this time. Then here come the Arab, very disrespectful to our people when they first, got over here. I remember very clearly they done got niggerized to a certain extent. They want to think everybody come amongst us, then they want to be us. Now they want to ride around in cars with beats and it, motherfucker, you just got off a goat. And the hell now you over here got a car with beats and shit and all of that in it and all, and so everybody become niggerized to a certain extent. They want to be us, but they hate us because they can't be us like, we are still the standard. And so they hate on us because they say they better than us, but yet and still they want to be us, even though they say they better than us, So so that's what it is. So the thing is, we got a lot of people that just, they've been getting a major loot and bread off of, but we want to turn around because it's easier, because really y'all got rabbitosis, you got crackatosis, you got I got to come up with the what is it called? You got red what was the one I got another one. Red feather fever. You got red feather fever. That's for the people that want to. You want to be a damn. You want to do that one too and shit. We want to be everything. It is. It is what it is. It is what it. And talk down on the black. Everybody talk down on the black. Everybody talk down on everybody. You see. And so we don't want to deal with those that's truly in the top of the hierarchy of pillaging. We don't want to deal with that. So now over there, they want to go and they want to attack the children. I mean, if you're going to do it right. You ain't even got to do that. Just put the pressure on the government. If you feel that they're illegal migrants, put the pressure on them. Go down there 100 strong. I mean, I'm talking about 100,000 strong, going up there to Pretoria and go tell Ramaphosa, goddamn it, you see it's about to get hot down here. Get these migrants up out of here. Okay, get the illegal migrants up out of there. If people's is in there legitimately, then it is what it is. I mean, people can go all over the world and gain citizenship. Now you can't be no damn, you want to be a goddamn a rogue nation and shit. So I just say, if they illegal, I can understand people's is tired of people just sneaking in their country. That's understandable. People cannot understand that part of it. But you still have to be respectable for yourself and your identity in front of the world. And you can achieve all the results that you're looking for and keep your dignity. Running up on children, you whooping people without really knowing who you whooping. You whooping South Africans. That lets you know you don't know what you're doing. You moving emotional. You're not moving with a sound strategy. So don't be jumping on your own people. Don't be jumping on legal legal migrants, you know what I'm saying, that have went through the process and are actually legal. And it's just not going to look good for you to be pulling other app running up on children. It ain't going to shoot well. Even if they illegal or this, that, and the third, you can handle that without putting out to the world that adults is running up on children. That's just not going to fly. Give a goddamn how you make that sound. It just ain't going to fly. Nah, again, the process, you can go to and tell the government, the police, enforce and get the illegals out of here. You know what I'm saying? Get the illegals out of here and let their ass come. I'm all right with that. That's 100%. Nobody should be sneaking into nobody else's nation. I agree with that. I agree with that. But let's keep dignity. You understand what I'm saying? For children, man, come on. A lot of time children don't even know what the fuck going on. You know what I'm saying? They just do what they mom and daddy tell them to do. It ain't like they, they go where they mom and daddies go. You know what I'm saying? So just because they end up somewhere, they ain't thinking about being a criminal or something shit. They just trying to go to school. Wake up out there, family. Let's do better. Before I get up off of here, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like it. And get over there to Patreon. Click that link right there in the top of the chat. We got the secret genetic experiments, human animal hybrid. And you might be then ran into 2 or 3 today. You might not even know it, but they might be a hybrid. Family, get over here and check this out and get hip. Because, knowledge is power. You feel what I'm saying? I'll see y'all in a minute. Black Pop.